Good evening, my name's Darin McQuoid, and tonight we're going to talk about loading your boat for an overnight trip, which is probably my favorite thing about kayaking, is that you get to basically do everything you got to do backpacking, but you don't have to carry all that crap the whole way. So it's fantastic. You can just put it all in a boat, paddle down the river, bring good food, and we're going to cover some basic things of what you need on an overnight trip, and I'm also going to talk about how I like to load my boat to make it paddle well, so it's not a huge difference from paddling an empty boat. So it is important how you load a boat. The first thing I recommend bringing on any overnight trip is a breakdown paddle. You never know what can happen with a swim, broken paddle, drop paddle. Mistakes happen. It's inevitable. So you always want to have a breakdown paddle. I like to put my sleeping gear on one side of the boat, and on a cold overnight trip, the size of this bag can grow in a huge way. You put a down coat in here, you put some fleece layers and socks, all of a sudden it's a really big bag, and it's hard to get in the boat. Now this is a summer bag, it's not going to be hard to get in, but here's just some quick tips for putting these bags in the boat, is that if you take off your hip pads, you don't have to take them all the way out, you just undo the webbing, pull them out of the way, all of a sudden you have a lot more room to get stuff in the back of the boat. And if you slide your seat forward, you get even more room. You get a couple more inches of clearance, which is really nice. And as you can see here, this is a 2010 Villain. If you're lucky enough to own one of the new ones, this strap now goes up here, which makes it a lot easier to load the boat because it's not dangling in the way or getting caught on anything. Also helps keep the back band higher. But these watershed fudas are always pretty snug to get in. Your sleeping gear is not exceptionally heavy if you have a good bag, and with the watershed you can use a down bag and not have to worry about it getting wet, which I highly recommend because the down compresses smaller, weighs less, and it's warmer, and the only threat to down is if it gets wet because it takes forever to dry. But if you have a good dry bag like a watershed, you're not going to have a wet sleeping bag. The next step I like to take is your sleeping gear is bulky but light, generally speaking, in the overall weight of an overnight setup. So I like to take the blades for my breakdown, which are the heaviest part of a breakdown paddle, and put them in with mine. Next item in my boat, after the water bottle, is an aluminum cooking pot. It doesn't have to be fancy. And I follow that up with my heavy bag, which is food, utensils, anything extra. I carry sunscreen in here. I carry some ear drops to get rid of swimmer's ear, bug spray, whatever you need. All the extra stuff goes in this bag, which is small and it's heavy. My pin kit's in here too, but it's small enough that it sits really close to the seat, which is good because the closer your weight is to the seat, the better off you are. Because then you have less swing weight. When all your heavy weight's centered, your boat's still easier to turn. You put your heavy items in the far ends of your boat, it's going to be harder to turn your boat because you're getting a lot of swing weight and momentum every time you're turning, or if the river turns you. So I follow that dry bag with the food, my breakdown paddle shaft, which keep tied together. That way one piece always tends to snag, so that way it doesn't fall out of the boat on its own. And it's easy to fit in here. Follow that up, trusty throw rope. Can't go wrong with the throw rope. I highly recommend keeping your throw rope in the front of your boat if possible. That way every time you get out to scout, your throw rope's easy to grab. Grab your throw rope when you scout, and it's faster that way. Also, if you have to get out of your boat to rope your friend out of a hole, your rope's right there. Easy to go. And that is the basic boat loading for me for an overnight trip.